We are talking about pro players here on this channel and we analyze them a lot. But today we are going to focus on complete opposite and we will watch a couple of FACEIT games instead. I downloaded 2 demos of currently the highest player who is technically not a pro player. His name is Wonderful, not the one from Navi obviously, but we will check out the game where he had pretty good statistics, but also the one where he struggled and see if we can get any takeaways and learn something from it. He has an HLTV profile with recorded games dating back to like 2021. While this guy is clearly striving in chaos and randomness of a puck and FACEIT, he knows how to perform in more serious environment. So let's dive into the demos. We have 2 Anubis games on the menu and let's not waste time. We're here into the CD side. Wonderful. I'm not even sure if he's an Opera. I believe he is, but we will see. Looking at the stats, it probably is an Op. Actually a mid stack to start off. He's playing last contact. Mid stack worked out. I feel like on FACEIT everyone is just rushing A or doing a mid stack. I mean rush mid as a T side. Very basic reading of the game here, because obviously you cannot know what opponents will do in such a random scenario. Mid rush super common for T side. Even if they go B, you're really fast rotation by dropping down and going through a connector area. So he's a mid player, taking a little bit of a deep swing. Oh, he groups up with his teammate towards A, which is great. Is he gonna offer a flash for him? He is. Good flash. Great stuff. Yep. Last guy is known in A main. He's just going to be mopped up right here. Is he? Alright. There's a little bit of trolling going on. There's a lot of trolling going on. Wonderful made a great read, by the way, to leave that mid area as soon as no one is peeking from the get-go, basically. Well, one guy peeked, but he got pushed away because Wonderful dealt a lot of damage to him. And then he grouped up with an A player because there's the only real danger to the round. If the A player dies randomly by, let's say, getting 1 deked and not getting any frag, A side is going to be hard to retake. Alright. We're asking for a little boost here. There's a force buy and Wonderful with a hero M4. Again, these gimmick plays super effective in FACEIT. You basically all you need to do is to punish an individual in a round to suddenly have a huge chance to win that round. And good cover by a teammate. So as I was saying, all you really look for in a FACEIT game, especially if you're solo queuing, is to look for an individual mistake. So abuse a player that is, you know, struggling or a little less level, because it will open up the map so much that even if you're playing then against 4 really good players, borderline like pro players, they're going to be overworked, you know, they cannot hold everything. There's going to be gaps, and these gaps can be used by literally anyone, no matter what level are you on. If you're flanking someone in Counter-Strike, you're going to kill him even if you're a really bad player, because all it takes is pretty much 3 bullets to kill someone. A little Zeus action, I like this. Again, like you can see, another round, even if it's full eco, another gimmick by Wonderful. Before that, he was trying with a boost on B side, now it didn't work out. I like the attempt. Wonderful is just, you know, blocking mid in the beginning and then helping on the sides of the map. And once his nades on the mid are expired, then he comes back. So basically he's like fortifying whatever he feels like is going to happen in the round. That's why mid is so impactful. Like you have so many decisions and playmaking opportunities, such as this one. Just a little peek. It's extremely annoying if no one is holding it. And in a FACEIT game, who the hell on T side wants to hold middle? That's the same as who wants to hold B side. Like everyone wants to be in the action, so they will go into the water, into the connector. They will push mid early, or going towards A early. But no one is going to just hold patiently and wait for CDs to push. That's why there are so many gaps that you want to abuse in a FACEIT. He's going to ask for rotation. Good mid setup. There's going to be definitely some action going on. Let's see how he deals with it. No one is clearing him. Very good. Very sloppy from Tease as well, but overall I like that he's not really like chasing the frags for stats or whatever. He's just trying to play it kind of. If they're gonna get stomped now as well, there's gonna be 2 rounds in a row where Wonderful is just mopping them up. Disengaging. Wow. That's a rare sight in FACEIT. Swallowing the ego and giving up a duel. That's a good sign. Awkward situation. Wonderful needs to help. Yeah, and he's helping with a correct, in my opinion, correct reaction to play close to the smoke. Unfortunately, Ob dies through the smoke, but alright, now give up A side. Maybe not let Tease to get that Ob. Very good approach, even to this like retake scenario. It just doesn't strafe mindlessly, and he waits for the teammate before he starts peeking, and then he peeks correctly. I like it. Just over rotation. Right, he's in time. Let's see what he's going to get as a reaction. B lobby is smoked. We're going to push this. We might take a deep peek. Okay, now he knows they're either B lobby or middle, because he just made a kill of a guy looking for A main push. There might be another option where this guy was just holding A main push, and there's another T close by, let's say somewhere here, who was supposed to cover him or trade him, and he didn't for whatever reason. So it clearly shows that this is clear for T's. This is clear for T's, this as well, because, well, he's just there. So only option is that T's are middle, B lobby, and there is a little chance that they're here. So let's see how he uses the information. This smoke here is still fresh, by the way. It's gonna be there for a little bit, so he can use that smoke to escape from B side and rotate to middle. Let's see if he does that. This guy is already holding like a mid flank. He's using the smoke. It should be still up there. Just dissipated. And now he's in time for the rotation to actually flank A. Tanking the molly. I'm not hating that play. I'm not hating it. They need to plant the bomb, and obviously one guy is going to be sticking the bomb while the other guy has to be overworked for A main, heaven, and camera. Which means tanking the molly and just running through might give you a great chance of actually bringing 3v2 into 2v1. And that is always more favorable for CDs. We have a B hit. I'm actually surprised that there's a smoke actually coming. Is that a good smoke? Might be, actually. I don't know if that was designed to land like that. Alright, tough round. Didn't get any smooth entry, so those are always a little bit hard. This mid combo he's doing, he loves it. Again, he took an area of the map which CTs cannot control with the nade set that they threw. They threw a smoke and a molly, right? Again, I don't consider this going for the entry frag or an entry pick. He get it in the end, yes, but it's because CTs failed and they kind of gave it to him. They made a mistake and he's ready there to punish that. But he's just taking the control of the map, and then I assume he would just chill here and just wait for something to happen elsewhere on the map so he can use a gap. People are just walking into him, kind of desperate. If you're 7-10 down on FACEIT, you are going to try to make a play and kind of salvage the pug. We're gonna go elsewhere for the first time now. I still think he's not going to play as an entry here. He's gonna try to go for reactions. There's already entry attempt in connector. There's probably one going to be right now in B. The map isn't being opened up for Wonderful. Now he kind of feels a need to do something anyway. He knows the AWP is not here, by the way, so he's taking a duel against M4 and he knows it. So Wonderful is probably an advantage. Yeah, that was it was just, you know, if the entries would happen towards this B side, let's say in connector or this B main, it would make one of the CTs from A, I'm sorry, rotate away, and that's why Wonderful can much safely take this engagement. Even if he doesn't instantly kill the CT here, I'm pretty sure if one of those kills happened, he would just push him because he knows that he's alone. Because the other guy is overworked with middle or in a rotation towards B, because that's where the kills happen. So he's using the rotation and information to gain an advantage. Clearly, Wonderful is probably the best player right now on the server when it comes to aim and knowledge of the, let's say, nades. Even right now, he's making the lineups. Like, he's probably the most complete player, but he's not relying on that only. He's relying on the game sense, because that's much more, you know, it's much more safe. It's less random. Your aim, you can lose an aim duel, but if the difference between the game sense between you and other players in the lobby is so huge, you want to rely on the game sense rather than aim, which is, there's like a difference, but not as huge. So you want to pick a quality that there's like biggest disparity between you and the rest, and then double down on that, right? It's going to make you win much more games, much more consistently. Very nice. So the game 1 ended in a 13-8 victory, and I believe Wonderful mopped up 32 frags. 32-13 is the KDA. Let's look at the demo number 2, which is again Anubis. Let's see the differences. Let's see the similarities. This one is not going to go so smooth. Let's see why. He's playing with completely different players, and they're probably going to do the same strat. Wonderful is going to molly backplat on B, and he got dropped this. 1 second. He got dropped this molly. This time it's a good smoke. So maybe it's Wonderful actually who's calling these threats, which would make this pretty much like even more impressive. Because he's clearly trying to organize something, and didn't go that well again. Another boost, as we saw in the last game as well. Alright, he doesn't have nades, so he doesn't even go towards the middle now. Good kill from Wonderful. Very good. Teammates opened up the round. I mean, he actually got an entry, but then the CTs just kind of pushed into the Ts. Even the first frag by Wonderful was CT being a little bit aggressive, and that's why, again, he's just trying to set himself up for the later part of the rounds. But if CTs are doing a mistake, he's there to punish. Alright, so this is Wonderful that I know, yes. AK middle, throwing all his nades immediately. Trying to go for a lucky spam and doesn't get spammed back. As I said that, he eats a bullet. But this is more like Wonderful approach. He's gonna use the timing right now. He's not jiggling. He's not jiggling anymore because the so there are so many kills that happen towards this B side that this mid player has to start the rotation, and therefore someone else will pick up the mid. So if mid player, let's say, yeah, he's tasked to go B, obviously this part of the map and then this part of the map requires just one player to hold, and the best place to hold these two areas is actually from camera. Look where wonderful Crosshair is. He's going to be ready for this player because he's rotating from A into middle just to check it. And if there's nothing, maybe rotates back to A, but he needs to check it first. And he hears them. He hears him coming to check it. So open up the map, calls the rotation that A is clear. Bomb is coming up. He's trying to help the bomb in case there's someone in the water. But now they're just going to both storm into A side. And now let's see if Wonderful decides to take a space, let's say in heaven or camera. He's asking for plant to be there. Yeah. Okay, plant is happening. Let's see why. Oh, he wants to play an after plant from the heaven position, and that plant, that diffuse, actually you can see from here. That's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting that he suggests it instead of play it like, you know, classic after plant. Squeeze every possible opportunity to win the after plant or be in slight advantage. Now if CTs see that the bomb is planted here, they're gonna expect him being in the A main. Plus they fumbled the smoke. They assumed that the bomb is planted around default as usual. So this is already nice play. And now Wonderful is just behind. He sees the cables are not there. Masterclass. Honestly, he got, what, 2 kills in this round, but this was actually probably the best play we've seen on the demo so far. It's just such a little neat trick that he actually pings where he wants bomb to be planted to set up himself again for the late round, for the after plant. I feel like Arb Norse is taking a little bit of position away from Wonderful. So Wonderful needs to get creative elsewhere, which isn't necessarily bad. It shows at least that he has a depth, you know, to not play just one trick mid player. Is he gonna jump check this? Silent jump check, yes he is. Oh, not silent anymore. But the mid flank happened. It feels like whoever is playing mid is gonna get a lot of kills. There's just so much that you can do and so much you can abuse. Is Wonderful gonna be the mid player here though? Hard to say. Looks like yes. Yeah. Just a Glock train. Not much you can do. Wonderful just gets a hero MP9. Alright, he punishes that, I guess. That works. Might actually find C4 soon. C4 is dangerously close. But he grabbed an AK and went instantly for the rotation. Now he needs to look for frags. His teammates with the Deagles, they won't be able to win this round. He needs to be the one actively chasing the Ts. First one is there. 4v3, but the terrorists have a site, so I would still favor advantage to T side, not anymore. Yes, now again. 3v2 is still advantage for Ts. Ooh, the clear is so close. It's a rough duel right there. And in the end it was 1v2 off of the back of that grab AK and rotation. Oh, we're getting an HE and he's again getting one more. Well, not a lot of damage. But clearly a play that he is successful with. Now they're in a low-key trouble because they know a split or a hit is happening. If you look at the map, his teammates are in the B lobby and they are completely uncontested, while Wonderful had to give up mid slightly. So there's a timing on mid as well. He's going to be paranoid about camera push. And then there's clearly at least 2-3 people outside A main. So now he's completely alone against 4 people. And he needs to win this round right here and then. Otherwise, his teammates should be saving. He's getting just peaked perfectly, so... That is what happens when, you know, people put you under the pressure and you have to help teammates elsewhere. And T's are just not committing, so you're in the rotation to the wrong place, essentially. Somehow, miraculous retake. I think there were a couple of smoke kills and... Anyway, this is a match point for the opponents. And now they're in full strength, 5 players connected. It was a nice attempt though. Two entry kills, 4. This is just over, it falls apart. Just a little Hail Mary play, 2 extra kills just to make sure. We're doing a little bit of stat pad, but this was actually a pretty interesting concept that I might try to bring forward and try to actually find players that are not the pro players, meaning they haven't played a single HLTV game. Wonderful is kind of, you know, a breaking point of a pro player and not a pro player. So I might try to look for someone that is somewhat complete newbie when it comes to team game, but having a good performance in FACEIT box. If you know someone like that, let me know. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you and bye-bye.